Hello, I'm Lara Kılçarslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. We're just 2 months into 2025 and the global AI race is in full swing. Governments and tech giants are making record-breaking investments to dominate the AI landscape. The US kicked off the AI boom with OpenAI's launch of ChatGPT in late 2022. Tech giants such as Google, Microsoft, and Anthropic jumped on the bandwagon and are all racing to keep up. This week, Apple announced its largest ever investment, more than $500 billion. It's planning to expand AI operations, reduce reliance on overseas production, and solidify America's role as a global tech leader.
The commitment includes opening a new advanced manufacturing facility in Houston, Texas, expanding the U.S. Advanced Manufacturing Fund to $10 billion, and creating a manufacturing academy in Michigan to train the next generation of workers. Additionally, Apple will continue to invest in research and development, creating 20,000 new jobs in areas such as AI and software development.
Meanwhile, the Stargate partnership between OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle is set to inject another $500 billion into AI infrastructure. That's expected to create over 100,000 jobs. Under the Trump administration, a more relaxed regulatory approach is helping to shape the industry. While aimed at fostering innovation and protecting American companies from foreign regulations, critics warn that fewer checks and balances could fuel ethical concerns, privacy violations, and power in just a few hands. Across the Atlantic, France is leading the AI race. At the Paris AI Action Summit, French President Emmanuel Macron pledged over $118 billion to AI development. State-backed lender BPI France is also injecting another $11 billion to fuel startups. France is not alone, the EU is also stepping up.
The AI Champions Initiative is injecting $163 billion to cement Europe's place in AI, along with the $217 billion Invest AI push. But Europe isn't just focusing on investment. Unlike the US, the EU has been cautious about the rise of big tech companies and rapid advances in AI, seeking tighter regulations. The EU's Artificial Intelligence Act, in effect since February, enforces strict safety and transparency rules. But that sparked concerns in the industry. Dutch software firm Bird has announced plans to relocate to the US, citing restrictive AI laws and hiring challenges.
But while Western nations push ahead, China is emerging as a serious challenger. A small but powerful AI startup, DeepSeek, has proven that China can compete with Silicon Valley. It's achieving major breakthroughs with fewer resources.
So if we were to look at all of the current AI benchmarks, DeepSeek is equally as good, if not stronger, than every single AI model in the market right now. Apart from being open source is how cheap it is. So basically, instead of spending $200 per month to access OpenAI o1 on your computer, you can essentially go to DeepSeek's website and get the same exact powerful model for free. In fact, all this competition is actually forcing Sam Altman to make O3 Mini completely free for users. And I guarantee this would not have happened without all of the latest DeepSeek advances we've seen within the AI space.
Now, Alibaba is entering the fray. The Chinese tech giant is pouring $53 billion into AI and cloud computing over the next 3 years. It's already launched Qwen 2.5, claiming it outperforms both DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Experts say Alibaba's move could be a game changer in the global AI battle. And then there's India. The country has long been the backbone of global IT, but AI is changing the landscape. The world's largest outsourcing hub now faces a critical question. Can it adapt before it's too late? Last March, India launched the $1.25 billion India AI mission to boost startups and infrastructure. A smaller 575,000 allocation in the latest federal budget also aims to set up 3 AI research centers. Experts say India has a unique edge with its vast, diverse data sets across healthcare, finance, and agriculture. But to stay competitive, it needs to ramp up investment, overhaul its education system, and mobilize its massive workforce for an AI-driven future. More than 1,000 artists have come together to release a unique silent album titled Is This What We Want? They're wanting to send a powerful message to oppose the British government's plans to allow AI companies to use copyrighted music without permission. The big names include legends like Kate Bush, Damon Albarn, and Annie Lennox. This album is made up of just silence, reflecting the potential consequences of the new government proposals. And as you can imagine, the backlash from the celebrity world is growing stronger by the day. Along with Kate Bush, we got Paul McCartney, Elton John, Björn Ulvaeus from ABBA, actor Julianne Moore, and authors like Val McDermott and Richard Osman, all voicing their concern. They're worried that their work will be exploited by tech companies if the government moves forward with these plans.
Musicians are protesting against artificial intelligence. The Screen Actors Guild declared that AI poses an existential risk to creatives and is now on strike. Things like AI-generated acting, music, and paintings are stepping into a gray area when it comes to copyright and ownership. Recently, for example, AI-generated rap songs mimicking the voices of Kanye West and Drake have gone viral. This all brings up deeper questions over what it means to be an artist and how much ownership you have over the essence of your artistry. I think we'll have to introduce some form of virtual authentication for artists to sign their work, but I still think the demand for their work is going to dwindle with so many fake alternatives flooding the markets.
Singapore's biggest bank plans to drastically slash its workforce and use technology to replace humans. DBS says it'll cut 4,000 jobs in the next 3 years, making it the first major bank to move towards AI systems. The bank says AI will be used to replace work conducted by temporary and contract workers, not permanent staff.
DBS Group plans to cut 4,000 jobs, 10% of its workforce, over 3 years due to AI adoption. CEO Piyush Gupta highlights AI's distinct nature, stating it mimics and self-creates, making job repurposing more challenging than past technologies. DBS previously repurposed 1,600 employees during its 2016 to 17 digital shift, but now faces greater difficulty in workforce adaptation. DBS leverages AI in customer outreach, credit underwriting, and hiring, but remains cautious about potential risks.
With the US government also on a major drive to slash jobs, there has been chaos at federal agencies across the country. That's after Elon Musk gave workers a second chance to respond to an email he sent a couple days back. If you're still in the dark, Musk is demanding they outline what they did last week or risk losing their jobs. For those who have responded, AI will reportedly be used to evaluate their response. There's been confusion and mixed messages flying around. Some workers have been told they have to comply, others do not, and many are left waiting for clear direction. At some point, even President Donald Trump weighed in, insisting that anyone who hasn't responded would be semi-fired or fired. Already, at least 21 federal workers have resigned in protest. But the big question is, where will those facing the sack fit into America's job market?
I don't know whether there's a misconception that federal workers are not qualified, they're all lazy, the government's just hiring anyone these days, they're DEI hire, whatever you might think. For the ones that are cheering, I hate to break it to you, but many federal workers are extremely qualified, if not overqualified for their positions, going to some of the top colleges, and they're choosing public service. They are choosing a job that might pay a little bit less than the private sector. Maybe there's more benefits. There used to be more security. There's not now. But these people are all going to be going on unemployment, which is also government assistance, which is going to be costing the government money, obviously only for a period of time. And then these very highly qualified, very intelligent workers, again, not everybody, but most, because just like in any jobs, there's going to be the bad apples. There's bad apples everywhere. But most of these people are highly qualified and highly educated. And then they're going to take all their skills and they're going to be going into the private sector, because why in the hell would you want to go back into the public sector? Now, again, not everybody, but most will probably now be competing for jobs in the private sector.
Millennials and Gen Z have found something rare to agree on. It's called micro-retirement. The concept isn't actually new. It originates from Timothy Ferriss's 2007 book, The 4-Hour Work Week. Younger generations have simply turned it into a trend, taking extended time off from their jobs without waiting for the traditional retirement age.
I am in a micro retirement right now. I actually took off 6 months ago from my corporate job, and I've just started interviewing again. I plan on taking 6 months to a year off, and I have never felt better. And I will say, I'm interviewing with some of the top companies in tech right now, and none of them seem to care that I've taken time off. All of the people I've spoken with have been like, I really want to do that. I should plan on doing that. I think our world is changing, and people and millennials who are in leadership roles are really starting to respect our need to take time off.
But obviously, not everyone is on the same page.
And the reality is, yeah, that's mostly for people who are wealthier, who can get away with taking breaks, whether it's months or years away from the working world, because life is very expensive. Traveling is very expensive. So if you want to take, time to go to a different country while you don't have a job, you can only keep that up for so long. And so I think that this comes down to, a cross between the Gen Zs and millennials who either have money or come from money versus those who don't. And micro-retirement, just like retirement, is a luxury.
Mental health experts say we are obsessed with self-improvement because of consumerism, social pressure, and the idea that productivity equals worth. The system is designed to make us feel like we're not enough, because if we did, we would stop buying stuff. The self-help industry loves this, and social media makes it worse. But here's the thing, this endless chase is exhausting.
Reminder from a therapist that it is very valid if you feel like you're not doing enough, because you're living in a system that doesn't want you to feel like you're doing enough. That benefits from you feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you need more things, you need to do something different, you need to just listen to this and that to be enough. You are enough simply as you are. Take away the labels, take away everything else. Not to say that we don't need these things to exist in this world, but when we just think about that, you are so much more than all of that. See a baby who was born and think like they're not enough. Why haven't they done X, Y, and Z? Them just like literally breathing is the biggest gift and the biggest win and the biggest celebration. You can have goals and aspirations and remember that inherently you are worthy and enough, and you just being born and you existing and you being alive and choosing to stay and wake up today in this really, really difficult world is a gift in itself. Not to take away from difficult experiences, not to take away from the realities of the world we live in, just to validate that your presence here means so much more than any accolade or any award or any label or job title you will ever have.
The chances of being killed by a bird are pretty low, but never zero, especially if that bird is a cassowary. Australians are not known to be scared of animals, since they live in a land filled with venomous snakes and spiders. But they are cautious of one bird with a reputation for killing humans in the past.
If you've ever wanted to see a real-life dinosaur, then look no further than the cassowary. And these birds are widely considered to be the deadliest bird on Earth. So yeah, you don't really want to come in contact with these guys out in the wild because they're super territorial. And of course, the cassowary is found in northern Australia and New Guinea. And these murderous birds can get up to 6 feet tall and 120 pounds. So you might be thinking, well, I can take on that bird. I can go fist to feather with this thing. Well, you would be sadly mistaken. And it's because this bird likes to fight dirty by kicking you with their big, strong legs. And also on top of that, they have 5-inch long dagger-like claws that they can use to disembowel you. And we should be thankful that the cassowary primarily only consumes fruit.
There are 3 reported and confirmed accounts of people having been killed by cassowaries that I could find, with the most recent being a Florida man in 2019 who was killed by one of his domesticated cassowaries.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.